Peace and blessings. This is Satori, and we're going to go ahead and get into the second part of the Vibe session. We're going to do a part 2 of the Truth series, and which is entitled "Truth Is." And if you remember, I left off and I said, first of all, let's revisit some things. Truth is reality, and truth is the knowledge of reality. And I left off saying that truth is measurable. So I want you to this. So we're gonna focus in on truth being measurable. I want to go back also and reference, a part of scripture that a lot of us is really familiar with. And it says, "You shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free." Now we split that in half. It says, "You shall know the truth." So understand this, that truth is personal, and that truth is something that we can experience firsthand and not secondhand. Sadly, a lot of us only respond to truth or only receive things of truth from some secondhand vehicle, like through TV or some minister or whatever. But the thing is I want to encourage you and invite you to understand that truth exists and truth is available. And because truth is available, that we all have access to the truth. It just depends on our heart being able to receive the truth. And we all have access to the truth. It's a realm that exists. So you shall know the truth. You should have firsthand knowledge of reality. And that firsthand knowledge of reality is going to come to you and to myself, because truth begins with us. I'll leave it right there. So understand that truth is to be firsthand knowledge. And truth is to be experienced, because you shall know the truth, which means you shall experience the truth. It didn't say truth should be a theory to you. Truth should be something that's experienced. So any true teacher, any true spiritual teacher is going to invite you into a reality and help invite you to experience the truth for yourself. And so as they help you, invite you to experience the truth, when we say truth is measurable, that spiritual teacher is going to help point to you measurable things that you can identify with, that's going to help benefit you, or going to help shift your orientation to identify with the knowledge that you receive. And that's how you know that knowledge is beneficial for you. That's how you know the knowledge is of truth, because that truthful knowledge that you have now can be measured, because it can be identified. It's not something up there in the air or in the space. All right? So let's go back, and I'm going to amplify, the truth, the meaning of truth. Truth also heightens our awareness. And what it does is it heightens our awareness to understand the nature of an activity. Truth also heightens our awareness to understand the outcome of things. Now check this out. When we talk about the outcome of things, that means that truth will heighten our awareness to understand the geophysical responses that's in life. It will heighten our awareness to understand the spiritual, physical responses in life. It allows us to understand the psychological, physical, or the psychophysical responses in life. It also allows us to heighten our understanding or heighten our awareness into the spiritual, physical response. And all those different spheres or those arenas are something that, as we have knowledge, we're able to have insight to understand the response in terms of the cause and effects, and how it affects us, and how and how it influences us, and in turn how we can create a cause somewhere else and generate an effect to benefit us, if we understand that, if we understand that type of knowledge. All right. Also, truth heightens our awareness to understand the knowledge of consequences. So we know the consequences of our actions, of what we do. We know the consequences of what we think. We know the consequences of the things we put in motion. Okay? And someone's going to identify with sowing and reaping, or you talk about karma, or and that's where those those concepts, those principles come into play at. Also, knowledge heightens our awareness to understand the knowledge of results. So again, because why? Because truth is measurable. So I can see results. So if we receive knowledge and information, that means we should be able to connect it with something. That means we should be able to see results of that information. That means we can, as we receive knowledge and we convert it to a belief, we should be able to identify something measurable in reference to what we believe. And then we should be able to see the benefit of how it's benefiting us and how it's benefiting others. Now, of course, if you don't see the benefit of it, you got to question, do you have truth? I'll continue on. Now, so when we say truth is measurable, that means truth is subjective and it's not objective. All right? And so, truth is measurable. And what that means is that it's subjective and not objective. And so, I want to spend some time, let's talk about objective knowledge. And let's just dig deep into what that is really saying. Okay? So when we say truth is measurable, we know it's subjective. But it's opposite of being objective. So when knowledge is detached from reality, it shifts our orientation. And it shifts our orientation to desire and to crave objective knowledge. Or it means we only identify with objective knowledge. And so what we're talking about is, in order to receive knowledge, if you only geared to receive objective knowledge, it means you only will identify with knowledge or information if it excites you. It has to be exciting for you in order for you to take it. You have to be moved. And we can also equate that in some circles. We call it emotionalism. And I think a lot of us have, maybe have a lot of religious experiences, that have spiritual backgrounds. And a lot of times we'll see people only identify with things being presented to them in an emotional context. And basically that's just objective knowledge. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just identifying what it is. I'm just breaking down the reality of it. Okay? So when we talk about objective knowledge, it also means that our orientation means we only identify with illusions or fantasies. So we can have an illusion about ourselves, how we perceive ourselves. We can have a fantasy about ourselves, what we think we really should be, contrary to what we really are. And so the knowledge, so that means we might have a psychological need to feed that self disillusionment. And so because of that, we will respond to information that feeds that self fantasy that we have about ourselves. And if someone is geared to that, they're only moved to respond to that type of knowledge, it means that they're objectively oriented. Okay? Now, still dealing with it being objective. All right? So it means you respond to information that moves you emotionally. It means you respond to information that basically encourages your illusion. It encourages your illusions or your fantasies. All right? It also it means you embrace assumptive, information that's assumptive, or you love conjectures, or someone loves conjectures, which means they take information with no base, with no evidence to what's really being said. All right. And if someone is geared and prone to that, it means they're prone to geared to objective knowledge. All right. Also, here's a big piece right here. When knowledge is not attached to reality, it means someone is oriented to, or they desire to receive information that removes them from practicality. So objective knowledge encourages somebody to dismiss practicality. So you see individuals that only likes to entertain information and they don't crave any practicality in that. That means that they're receiving objective knowledge, and that's not true. And keep in mind, some people will call that truth, but that's not true. All right. So all these things I just listed, we basically I can frame it like this. When someone is geared to objective knowledge, that means they have to be entertained to receive information. Or we can consider them an escapist. Because why we call them escapists? Because they have to be detached from reality. So any information that will cause them to be detached from reality, they're going to receive it. They're going to be oriented to, because they desire, their orientation and their desire is to receive information that's detached from reality, which means it makes them become an escapist. All right? And that's not true. All right? So there's 3 tendencies I want to give you. And when we talk about that, because keep in mind, truth is subjective. Truth is not objective. So someone that's bombarded or someone that's prone into objective knowledge, this is some 3 things that you'll see. You'll see they have an escapist type nature, an escapist type of mentality. They want to be detached from reality. All right. They also reject knowledge. They're very indifferent to receiving any new information. Only time to receive information if it confirms what they already believe, or if it moves them emotionally, or excites and evokes some type of emotion, or feeds a fantasy, or aligns into some type of pretense, or it keeps them from being practical. Right? Because if I can dismiss being practical, it means I don't have to be responsible. All right? So that's the result of objective knowledge. All right? And so in the third thing, they become insipid, which means that these individuals have no concern or interest in anything that's going to benefit them interpersonally for their spiritual cycle growth. And those that understand, the Holy Bible or the Book of Life, that's referred to as the lost. So the lost is really the insipid. All right? So I want to leave out right there. And we'll get back into some more in this, of course. But just keep this in mind, that truth is measurable, which means that truth is subjective. And truth is not objective. Okay? One love. Light in life. Be blessed. We'll be right back at this again. One love.